Is life really about an objective balance, equity, fairness, justice? Is it? I may go further to say that maybe life is, but our social structure, our system of society, our organizations so designed, so structured that equity, fairness, justice, and truth are all a part of what they seek to attain, accomplish, to distribute. Now, I want to take you to some fundamental issues in society, and one of them is under the umbrella of should men get married. Now, a male works for years, or most of them do, to acquire what it is that they want in life. And when they would have done so, they will get married to a female. I'm keeping my conversation here within the context of heterosexual relationship. They get married to a female, and after a year, or 2 years, or 3 years, the female decides that she wants half of what you've attained. When you have attained all of this over 20, 15, 30 years prior to meeting her, and she wants half, and the justice system is so designed, so structured, will give her half, and not that she's given a portion of what she came allowed you to build. And why do I say that? Because if one have accomplished or attained certain material possessions, and there's evidence that the female was not a part of the relationship up to that point, then an equitable and a fair thing to do is that she be given what increase there was when she came into the relationship. The court system does not do that. The court system allows the woman to take half. And when the court system would have allowed the woman to take half, the society does not understand that what does is breed contempt and breed hatred for not only the system, but for the female and those persons who emerge out of that relationship, the children. Now, I want women to look carefully at your actions or your inactions. For a second, I want women to think if the table were to be reversed. Just examine it, women. You have actually attained your education, your material resources over years. And here comes a male who gets married to you. And then he now says, listen, he's now tired of you and he wants out. And he wants half of what you have made. And when he came to the relationship, you had a house, you had a few cars, you had $1 million in the bank account, and you had all of these resources. And when he came into the relationship, I'm saying, let's give an increase to say 2 extra houses. So you end up with 5 houses. But whether it was his contribution to the relationship or not, the fact remains that you now have attained 2 extra houses. And here the court is not going to say to you he deserves half. So he's going to get 2.5 of those houses. Look at the math, ladies. And all that has happened, all the increase that happened during the time that both of you were in the relationship, just 2 houses. And just by you working and him coming into that relationship, he gets 2 houses and a half. And then he has other resources to get. And he contributed nothing to those. Just look at it, ladies. Is that fair? Is that just? Is that equitable? How would you feel if the society was so structured that the male can come into a relationship at any point in time decide to dissolve the relationship and ask for half of what you have earned. Let's go further, ladies. Let us say, for example, he was not working at the time and he was staying home. And all the extra thing that you worked were your blood, sweat, and tears. And he gets a portion of it. I'm not going to say whether he was cheating or not in the relationship. I'm not going to be getting into those ramifications. I'm just saying, let's look at what is in terms of if you were to get half based on a justice system that favors males. Ladies, look what you're asking males to do. Look. So is there any advantage therefore for men within the context of society wanting to give women half of what? Half of what? Half of your resources if you were to get married to a female. Look at it. Why should a male get married? No current system. A matter of fact, why the law has now extended to common law unions to say, okay, then after a certain number of time living with you, she deserves half. So let me ask you a question now, men and women. Why should a man live with a woman? What's the advantage? What's the financial gain for the male? Is marriage a liability to men? Have women now begun to exploit and explore their options using marriage as a way of gaining material resources? Is that the new order of things? That if a woman wants resources, all she needs to look for is a male that has it. One. Two, a male that has a potential to get it. And three, allowing a male to believe that you will support him in thick and thin. And all you need to do is to encourage him to attain more. Because the more he has, is the more you will get when the relationship is dissolved. So is it feasible for a male to obtain more going into a marriage than if you were to stay out of the marriage and have a fling? Or have a visiting relationship? Or having a relationship and then annulling at some point, annulling that relationship, or taking a break from that relationship and then start it all over? So you could be with the woman for 15 years, but you break it off every summer or every winter or every whenever. Just take a break from that relationship and say to the female that you do not need her to come to your house. You love her just the same. You just need a break. And that break is to ensure that the law cannot say that the relationship was for 4 years. In other words, you have a contractual agreement with the female that at the end of every 10 months, we take a 2-month break to ensure that there's no continuity in time for she to can claim that we have been together for 15 years. So you can actually say to the court that we were together for 9 years last month, 9 years last year. We took a 3-month break and we started. We took a 3-month break for the year after. So we have been together, take out those months. And it's a contractual thing where we decide, listen, the relationship will not go for an entire year without some periodic break. Man, you have now got to start thinking within the context of the law to ensure that you're protected. Because the current system does not favor a male getting married or a male being a part of a continuous relationship. Look at what is going on, ladies and gentlemen. They are destroying unions. Can't we see what is going on? Let me hear what your opinions are. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Maybe I am psychotic. Maybe I am delusional. Maybe I'm overthinking what is happening. But I'm asking you to put me in some context. Let me hear what you have to say.